joining my session. It's an absolute honor to be speaking at Digital Dealer for the 4th time, and to have you guys all in the room with me. It means the world to me. I know we have people from Australia that came in to hang out. Thank you guys for coming all the way here. And for all my friends, I've got a lot of friends and people I've coached now and in the past year. So thank you guys all for coming. So we're going to be talking about ESelling 2019, the new road to the sale. Before we dive in, let me get everyone's attention with some results, all right? Melissa J. self-generated 137 opportunities for herself with zero marketing spend from the dealership in the past 20 days. That's starting from August 1st, and has sold 21 extra cars over the last 90 days. Joey B. average, he was a 19 car a month average on over 3 months, and he almost doubled his sales in less than 30 days. Donwood Automotive Group increased their internet engagement by 15% on 2,000 monthly leads. As you can imagine, that's talking a significant amount more of leads. There's 2 Nissan stores in the exact same market, one of which had 8,500 leads over 7 months, 47% engagement, 50% close, 1,900 sales, who bought another Nissan store in the same market as a result of their sales growth, who closed at 32% engagement, 40% closing. The difference, my friends, if performance were equal, these guys would have picked up an extra 588 sales. By the way, both are in the same CRM and the same market and the same OEM, okay, just to give you line of sight. This one has implemented ESelling. These guys are about to. So I shared that with you to get your attention and see the benefits, some of the results that you can expect to see when you implement ESelling. And let me introduce myself for those that don't know me. My name is Kelley, the CarbizCoach, and I help automotive leaders achieve great results through the people and technology with a very unique approach to coaching. And ESelling wasn't something that was slapped together over lunch. This is something that I've been working on since the very first auto trader call I took on my flip phone back in 2004 at my dealership. And it goes all the way up till now, where I coach individuals at different OEMs from coast to coast, helping them grow their business. Essentially, we've taken all these amazing coaching wins that are all documented, measured, and supported on, and we've now combined all these best practices into a new road to the sale. One that if you guys implement, you can actually sell cars in a more relevant way to the way customers are buying cars in 2019. You'll be able to improve your internet stats and your online statistics that will, your KPIs that will impact results like internet lead engagement percentage, increased opportunities with a very low cost of acquisition, appointment set and show ratios, as well as internet lead closing percentages. And also, you'll be able to connect your marketing and your sales efforts in a way, into one process that will help your salespeople attract the right customers in the right way for them, helping them enjoy work more. Are any of you guys, would any of you guys benefit from any of those success stories here? Give me a hand. Okay, fantastic. So this will be very relevant. Before we dive in, I also want you to understand the concept of what's going on today. So take yourself out of the automotive world for just a moment, and imagine you spent your entire career learning to be a crab fisherman, okay? You went to crab fishing school, you interned on a crab boat, and when you graduated crab fishing school, the Uber driver's taking you down to the docks where you're about to get your first boat. You get out of the car and they throw you on an airplane and they say, fly this around the country, across the country with 200 passengers on it. How many of you guys would enjoy a flight with that sort of skill, a pilot with that? We'd all be scared to fly that plane. We'd all be scared to be on that flight. And the reason I have that story in here is because I believe this is what we do to employees when they join the automotive industry, when we hire salespeople. I believe that when you make assumptions, you make a, you know what, out of you and me. And I think salespeople, what assumptions might they make before they join the car business? What is selling a car? What does it really take to successfully sell a car in 2019? And also, if people don't have good, clear expectations of what it takes to achieve success, they'll make up their own. So the entire presentation is geared to help us set realistic expectations that will help our salespeople achieve what they need to do. And in doing so, they'll succeed and your business will continue to grow. There's 3 stages in a society's growth: Hunting is the first one. Our salespeople, we are all really good at hunting for the next kill. And I'm not saying we're killing our customers, don't take it in that negative way. When a society first starts, they hunt for food. The problem is when the herds move on, they starve, right? Our marketing efforts, no matter how much we spend, no matter how good we are at marketing, we're challenged because it's not consistent. When the herds move on and there's nothing to kill, our salespeople are standing there waiting for a walk-in. I asked hundreds of managers across the country, what's step one in the road to the sale? And it's the same thing that I taught from day one at my dealership as a GSM, as a used car manager before that. Meet and greet, right? Step one starts with a meet and greet. That is a hunting mindset. We're hunting on the lot for a buffalo to kill, but the herds have moved on. Where are they? If the herds are the customers and they're not on the lot grazing, where are they at? Anyone take a guess? They're on the internet. The average person scrolls through a football field length of Facebook every single day. Our customers, we have access to infinite customers, and they're all on the internet. But we're hunting for the lot, we're hunting for the kill on the lot when we teach our salespeople step one in the road to sales and meet and greet. When society starts, when they get tired of breaking their legs and chasing down food that isn't there, they start farming, they start planting seeds for the future, and they're setting themselves up for future success. Our salespeople, when they adopt this mindset, they start taking a more long-term approach to business. Okay? It's a delayed gratification, but the payoff is extreme, as you've seen in the first few slides and some of the results I shared with you guys. All right? When a society starts farming, they start generating a surplus of food, and as such, they start having fun. They start going out for karaoke, right? They start having more babies, but then they need to start engineering. They need to start scaling up their operation, right? They need to start finding ways to be more efficient and effective. We couldn't feed our society unless we had GMO chickens that were the size of Doberman pinschers. Literally, I ate a chicken last night, the thing was this big. I'm like, oh, that's not a natural chicken, but that's all right. The point is we need to help our salespeople be better, continue to be as phenomenal hunters they are, but teach them how to farm, plant seeds for the future, and teach them how to engineer. So that's what you're gonna learn in the e-selling process. Step one in the e-selling process is how do we attract customers? If you put out honey, you get what? Ants, right? In Missouri, where I'm from, if you put out salt, you get deer. Help your employees attract the right customer for them. In order to do that, they have to have a brand. They also have to put content out there that will attract their ideal customer. So let me show you some examples of attracting customers. Now, I also, in addition to asking managers, what's step one in the road to sale, meet and greet, right? I also ask salespeople this question. I say, would you work in a dealership that doesn't market themselves? And what do they think they'll say? I would love that. No, they say no. So what if but then I look at them and I say, now it's 2019. There's this thing called social media, right? Would you go, well, should a dealership hire you if you're not willing to market yourself? And then they start scratching their heads like, well, I'm glad my boss didn't ask me that. I want to help them attract buyers too. They should be helping drive these marketing efforts. So 5 E's of online buyer attraction. Entice, that's something we're really good at. We price cars really cheap. We show the deals, the rebates, the incentives. It's overused, would you guys agree? And we're kind of turning what we do into a commodity. Would you guys agree with that? So we're good at enticing. Empathizing, this is something interesting. This is when you appeal to your target audience by sharing the problems that you solve for. You're understanding them and they understand that you understand them and you're appealing to their problems. We can educate people and give them information that they see as valuable, and that will make them want to continue to follow you. We can also entertain them. We can make someone laugh or make them feel like, I would want to hang out with those people. And then we can engage. We can create content that will ultimately drive back and forth interaction between ourselves and our buyers, our current buyers, in-market shoppers, and the ones that are going to be in the very near future with that farming mindset. Carvana, for instance, Carvana, he always gets mad when I say it wrong, my coach John there. John, say hi. So Carvana is interesting in the way they attract buyers. How do they attract buyers? Well, they are empathizing with people that have had a bad experience in the past. They're saying that we suck, and the way we sell cars sucks. And they're trying to attract those people through empathy. That's how they do it. All right? This is a fellow I coach in Oklahoma by the name of Subaru King Kyle. If you branded yourself hashtag Subaru King Kyle, and you're in all sorts of different Subaru groups, and you're known as the product matter expert, the king of Subaru in your community, what type of customer do you think he enjoys working with? Anyone take a stab at it? What do you think? Shift Digital? Engineers? People that love Subarus just as much as he does. That's exactly it. This is Mark the Pie Guy. Now, Mark's a really nice middle-aged man. Mark called me like about 2 months ago, and he said, Sean, I'm bored. I'm selling 30 cars a month. Help me get to 40. I'm like, no problem. Let's coach on it. But this is an interesting. So Mark the Pie Guy, buying a car from Mark is as easy as apple pie. This is a newscast that he published on his Facebook ad. Check this out. Oh, that's okay. Basically, she's talking about visiting Mark the Pie Guy is such a great experience, and buying a car from him is easy as apple pie. The reason I'm showing you this is because what demographic of buyer watches the news, likes to bake apple pies? Who's he trying to attract? Over 75% of his customers are in his choice of demographic, which is 50 and older. It's that simple. He likes to sell to baby boomers. We've identified his target market, and we're e-selling to attract the ideal buyer. This is Gavin Gadda. Now, Gavin, he posts on his very own website. This is Tier 4 marketing. One of my dealers, one of the very powerful tool for e-selling, one of my dealers has created his own platform called Tier 4 marketing. And this is a guy who has his own website, Gavin Gadda, and he posts online reviews of his happy customers, and he markets those across all his channels, on his Facebook. And as a result, people are constantly seeing how, if I buy from Gavin, I'm going to really enjoy the experience, right? Gavin is a 35 to 40 car month salesperson. This is Kate. Now, Kate has built she's at a Mercedes store I coach in Nashville. Kate has built such a big following on social media. I literally was at her store last month coaching her, and one of her customers brought in a pair of designer sneakers that they wanted her to wear in her videos on Instagram, because that's how big of a brand she's built. You guys, it's not all up to the dealership. You shouldn't have to shoulder the entire load of responsibility for attracting the right shoppers. We are in the people business, not the car business. And when we leverage our people to attract shoppers, you can make a massive impact on your results. All right, so I spent, this is a little lewd, but I'm going to tell it anyway. I'm just going to love this one. All right, so I spent 2 years, I was in special operations. I was a non-commissioned officer. Spent over 2 years in combat zones. And no matter what I did, I had a translator helping me translate. This is an actual picture I took from the top of my Humvee in Iraq. And anyway, I was in Bosnia, and wherever you go, the villagers, they want to meet you and talk to you. But one day we were about to go out for a mission, and my fly was unbuttoned, and my interpreter, her name is Tanya, she's a Bosnian, she looks down and she says, Malik Masnisa. And I was like, what did you say? She goes, oh, I said the meat shop is open when your flies. I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, I don't remember that. How'd you say that? And she told me again. I was like, in America, we just say XYZ, hey, same years. So she tells me meat shop's open. I think that's fine. So a month later, I'm in this village. I'm surrounded by all these kids. And the kid up front, nice looking little kid, I saw his fly was down, and I tried to remember. I was like, what did she say to me? And I said, Mali Mesnisa, or something. Whatever. All I know is the entire group of kids start busting out laughing. They're laughing hysterically. This poor little kid's face turns bright red. He looks down, he runs off. And my interpreter, her tears, she's crying, she's laughing so hard. And I'm like, Tanya, what did I say? Tell me, please tell me what I said. And she catches her breath. And she says, you put it down and you said, small meat, clear as day. I was like, oh, geez. I share that story because it's so relevant here. When we are speaking to someone through the internet, and I don't care if it's an internet lead or a Facebook, when we're speaking to someone through the internet, we are speaking a different language. It's that simple. We need to learn to translate the information that we have in our CRMs and in our social media, and we need to treat the pixels like people, and we need to look at this. This is a raw lead from a CRM, and we need to teach our employees to be able to look at this and translate this, and then customize a response to the customer that they'll actually want to watch and pay attention to, that's relevant, and teach them how to engage our customers in the best possible manner. And that's the next step in the road to sale, is translate, customize, and engage. All right, that's the next step. When we're engaging the buyer, we need to connect the dots for our customers, all right? If I'm a customer by the name of James, and I'm on Costco.com looking for a Toyota Tundra, and then the response I get looks like this, is there anything relevant about that? Are we connecting any dots for our customers? No, it's totally irrelevant, right? So instead, we need to connect the dots. So if I'm at Costco.com and I'm looking at a Tundra and my name is James, here's one way you can connect the dots. Show them the car. A large percentage of your no-show internet appointments actually don't come in because they don't believe the car is there. Because the salesperson is trying to create urgency and close them over the phone, right? You gotta hurry up and get in here, someone else was looking at it earlier. The customer's thinking, well, yeah, let me load my wife and kids into the car and get to that dealership right away so I can not see the car I want to look at. Think about that. So show them the car is actually available with a real video. You can also put the customer's name into your messaging. This is a video, I have a BDC that sends over 2,000 personalized videos a month through their CRM, Drive-Centric, and they always put the customer's name on the little whiteboard and in the subject line of every email. It causes customers to realize this is personalized and it's for me. It's not just a commercial, and they're opening it up and they're watching it. You can also mention, to connect the dots, that you're the Costco rep for that dealership. Just in doing that, it really helps them connect the dots. So that is a better way to personalize or customize the engagement. Next thing is important to understand when engaging the buyer, the difference between the golden and the platinum rule. The golden rule, okay, which is a great rule, we've all been taught to live by it, is do unto others the way you would have done unto yourself, right? I believe in living by the platinum rule, where we treat others the way they want to be treated. I do this in leadership, I do this in sales. I tap into individuality and strengths to help them where they want to grow most. And when we're communicating with our customers, how many of you guys in here, raise your hand if you prefer, if you're gonna communicate with anyone in general, you prefer to do it via text message. It's fast, efficient. Raise your hand if you're a texter, okay? If you prefer, no, don't text me, I don't know what you're saying, call me. Raise your hand if you're a phone person, okay? And if you're an email, if you prefer, send an email. There's a paper trail, I can see it, raise your hand. Pretty diverse mix in here, right guys? We need to do the same thing with our customers. Salespeople, we all have our favorite method, preferred method for communication, and when we constantly do our preferred method, because that's the way we want to be treated, we're totally ignoring the fact that we might have customers that prefer text, calls, emails, right? So we need to start treating the customers the way they want to be treated so we don't close down our communication, because we call them 2 or 3 times and we give up, or we're just defining insanity. So try every single channel. Some of my favorite channels are texting, email, Facebook Messenger. Man, look those customers up on Facebook. Look them up on LinkedIn. If you don't get a hold of them through these channels, then try that. Video and phone. I have phone and video over here for a reason. A couple years back, I did a case study for 3 large Toyota stores in America. This is when I was the Chief Business Development Officer of Drive-Centric CRM. And Toyota was like, hey, how come our internet closing percentage is dropping? Help us understand why. So I did a deep dive into a lot of the analytics and the CRM, data in the CRM, but what we found was that texting was way up. I'm not saying don't text people. It's a great way to get engagement and get an internet leader to respond to you. But what I am saying is once you do start texting and they do respond, you need to upgrade that conversation to a phone call. Because just by doing that, you're significantly more likely to get an appointment set, to get an appointment to show. And if you send them a video and they watch a video prior to showing, they're much easier to sell and they're more likely to buy from you. The next step, so once we've translated, customized, and engaged, now, my friends, it's time to create a unique pre-arrival experience. We know the customer's coming in. We got to set ourselves apart from our competition. When I mystery shop dealers to see how they're doing with their e-selling, and I've got an e-selling checklist. By the way, I'll share with you guys at the end of this presentation. You just got to see myself or John, and I'll share the e-selling checklist so you can kind of see how you're doing. But pre-arrival experience, we've got to stand out from the competition. We can't send those canned, generic email templates that everyone sends in response to an internet lead when we're treating them all the same. We've got to set ourselves apart. This guy right here increased his sales by 10 units a month. The same Subaru store where Subaru King Kyle is, simply by working with me and creating a custom video for every customer. So let's watch it. Oh, well, you won't be able to hear it, but I'll tell you what he says. Hi, I'm Mike Altman at Ferguson Subaru. And if you're looking for, I saw you were talking to my internet manager earlier. So he's actually going to mention his BDC agent who's talking to him. So it's a relevant conversation, less confusion for the customer. He also says if you're looking for an efficient car buying experience where you'll be treated with the respect and care that you do deserve, I'm your guy. My number's below, text me to set up an appointment is what he says. It's less than a minute long, but the 3 elements I want for you guys to take away from this video This pre-arrival experience is simply show the car, number one. Number two, use your unique value proposition. Why should a customer want to work with you? And then give them a really good call to action. Every message needs to have a call to action. By saying, I see this is a plague across our industry. I hear BDC agents, salespeople say this one thing. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any questions. You're essentially asking the customer, they put the ball in their court, and they don't know what to do, all right? So how do you add value? Okay, so we do this, how can we make the pre-arrival experience even better? We can send them a video, that's gonna set ourselves apart. Here's another thing too, this is one of my favorites. This is a video, again, you won't be able to hear it, but it's pouring down rain. And I use this to do for co-video, we train a bunch of their dealers on video. But essentially, imagine you set an appointment and you tell your customers, hey, I'm standing here in the rain to show you that I've got the Kia pulled up for you. Talk about obligation, right? Pre-arrival experience. This is a creepy slide, but it's here for a reason. Objections in sales. Where do objections really come from? Objections happen when people don't know what to expect. Carlo, I met you last night, right? Yesterday. If I had a van pulled up and I said, Carlo, get in it, we're going somewhere. Are you in?
Big problem.
Well, we went somewhere in a van last night. It was an Uber. But if I said, hey, Carlo, after the speech, I'm going to take you out for steaks. We're going to meet with Sean, your boss, and we're going to get you a pay raise. We'll be back in an hour. Are you in? You want to get in the van?
Yes, I'm ahead of you.
He's in now. He's running ahead of me, right? Give people clear expectations. Let them know where the van's going and why it's going there. And then when they come in, they won't give you the same objections you have. So what I mean by that is imagine if in every customer interaction, we sent a video, or in our conversation with our customer, we said, Mr. Customer, when you come in, we're going to do this. We're going to ask you some questions, pull up the perfect car, drive it, go over all your investment options. That way you'll have all the information you need to make a good decision. The entire process takes about an hour and a half. But we do have some options for you to make it faster if you'd like to start now, right? Prescription without diagnosis is malpractice. I love the fact that customers are shopping online for 5 days and picking out their own car. I think it's awesome. They come to the dealership, they say, this is the car I came to see. Salesperson, you don't need to waste my time and ask me any questions. That's awesome, man. How many of you guys have car salespeople at your lots that have been doing it for 3 or 4 months and don't even know the product? Safe to say. But we expect the customer to self-diagnose which car they should get. Think about that for a second. We stopped doing needs assessments because the customers picked out their car. Why would we want to slow? That's like you having back pain and doing research on it for a week and then going to your doctor and saying, please remove my kidney, I obviously have a bad kidney. We need to help our customers understand that we're going to, and this is the next step in e-selling. And by the way, this is the point at which we are actually on the lot. This is when the customer shows up at our dealership, but we can do some of this online. This is when we're going to ask them questions. And our goal in doing a needs assessment isn't to find them the perfect car. It's to suggest something better than what they picked out. Because they think they already found the perfect car. How do we add value as a salesperson in 2019? We need to say, Mr. Customer, all the research you did is great, and we can honor that. I pulled that car up in the rain for you, but I've got something better for you, and here's why. And if you can do that, you can create a loyal customer for life. If we sell like a kiosk, we can be replaced by a kiosk. So I believe the mother of any lost sale is an unasked question. If we ask better questions, we can get better answers, and we can drive up the value of the vehicle we're showing. And time is relative. You know, how many guys, John, my coach here, he's a big golfer. John, how fast does, on a Saturday when you're out golfing, you do 18 holes, how fast does 8 hours go by?
Well, it doesn't take 8 hours, but it goes by pretty quick.
Yeah, that's about golf.
About 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours, yeah.
That's because all the mulligans.
But it seems like it goes by really fast, yeah.
It goes by fast. Time is relative, okay? When I was in Iraq and we were being shelled by artillery and I was waiting for the next one to land on my head, I promise you this, 5 minutes felt like an eternity, right? Dealers across, and this slide is in here because I was working with St. Louis Auto Dealer Association, and we were going around visiting the dealership saying, what could we bring, what content could help impact your store? And I kept hearing the same thing, help us make our process faster, make our process quicker. Guys, it's not the speed of your process, it's the enjoyment of your process. Make it fun and enjoyable, and it will go by quicker for your customers. You've got to be creative and think outside the box now. Give people choices, people like to decide. Here's some options I wanted to share with you guys that you can give your customers that will help them feel like they are in control and they're holding the steering wheel. You know what, Mr. Customer, we can complete your credit app online or carve out time for a finance interview when you get here. Mr. Customer, you can leave a deposit to secure the vehicle now, or you can choose from hundreds of others when you arrive at our store. Guys, we can do a virtual appraisal on your trade-in before you come to our lot, or we can give you firm exact numbers when you come to our dealership. We can bring the desired vehicle you picked out to you and appraise your car on site, or you can come to us and see the entire selection we have in our store. Mr. Customer, we can do the entire sales process online, or we can just do the traditional process at our dealership. Which do you prefer? Imagine if you start, I'll leave this up here so you guys can get some pictures, but imagine if we started giving our customers these options, letting them pick. We are still both paths, do they not all lead to a sale for us? And how much easier would it, how much faster would the process be if the customer shows up at our dealership and half this stuff's done? Isn't that pretty awesome? Makes the sale easier. All right, the trade-in, I say appraise it up front. That's just my opinion. Appraise the car right when they get to the dealer. Start the appraisal process if you haven't already. It'll speed things up. All right? And then demo drive. Why are we not going on demo drives? Oh, they picked out the car, throw them the keys. Guys, cars cost more today than they ever have. I mean, it's insane. Literally, there's a Hyundai that's like $110,000 or whatever. The cars have so many features, and you know what? If you throw a customer the keys and say, test drive this, they are not going to be able to test out the lane keep assist, the blind spot, the collision warning systems. And these cars have more technology than they ever have, and they're more expensive. If we don't show them those features and demonstrate every single one of them, then they won't understand why they're paying so much for this car. We really have to help them see the value in that. And that's why no matter how futuristic selling cars becomes, we still have got to demonstrate the features that make it worth more for our customers. And instead of negotiations, how many of you guys call the write-up and negotiations? Familiar with that? It's no longer write-up and negotiations. I want you to start calling it validation. All right? We're no longer writing up and negotiating. We're going to validate the information that they already have. They've already shopped online for 5 days. They already picked our car for a reason. They've already looked at what their payments are going to be. They've already done an appraisal on their trade-in if they have one on their own, and Kelley Blue Book, so we can start validating. So here are some free validation tools. Surprisingly, I see a lot of opportunity to start using more of these at dealerships I coach from coast to coast. So any third-party trade-in appraisal site, if they use Kelley Blue Book, have them do it again with you on site. vAuto market comparison, great tool. It's free if you have vAuto. I mean, if you don't have the vAuto market comparison, it's so powerful, especially if you price your cars competitively. To build value in your salesperson, right? There's 3 things we got to build value in to sell: the man, the money, and the machine, the dealership. So check this out: online customer reviews. I have dealerships that you guys have heard of the evidence manual. Give them that packet with your 5-star reviews. What if they played a video showing 10 or 15 testimonial videos while they get up and go to the desk, talking about how great working with this pretty valuable stuff, right? Past trade-in appraisals of similar vehicles. Oh, if you want to get a picture of that. So here are some ways you can validate the numbers instead of negotiate. You can negotiate far less if you come in, and I say sandwich it. Give them a validation, go over your investment options, and then validate again. All right? Absolutely critical. The next step in the road to sale after the validation is memorable digital delivery. You guys, every single day, we have so many happy customers. People that leave our dealership elated with the experience that they got. And you know what's bad? The 1% of angry customers are the ones that Carvana is using to pull customers away from us, right? And tarnish our brand. All right? So what you need to understand about a memorable digital delivery is the peak end rule, all right? For any given experience, the most memorable part, there's 2 parts that are very memorable. The peak, or the most exciting, and the end, which is how it wraps up, all right? It's that simple. The peak end rule, and exciting can be good or it can be bad. Would you agree? So make the most exciting part of your process, the part where you do the walk-around presentation, you build value, you get them excited about that, and then you do the demo drive, and you're talking about all the feature value benefits and also building rapport. Make that the peak, and make the end the memorable digital delivery, because, guys, you can have 99% of your customers be elated and happy, but if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, does it make a sound? It's 2019, we need to start e-selling, we need to start attracting buyers. So when you want to remember something, when you want it to be memorable, what do? We go to Disney World, we take pictures, right? Digitize, market every happy customer. So this isn't just your standard delivery photo though, my friends. These are telling a story, each of these. So how did I meet the customer? That's number one. By the way, you may want to write this down. Take copious notes if you want those same results. Number one, how did I meet the customer? That will help your customer connect with you for the right channels. Number two, what challenge or problem did I solve for the customer? Number three, what do I like most about this customer? This will help people relate and you'll attract people that have the same problem. And then finally, what's the call to action? Absolutely critical. All right? Those, by the way, that process there came after a coaching conversation, and it drove up his likes, hearts, shares, and comments by over 200%. So that's been very valuable for this car salesperson here. Now, this is a guy named Chris Sims. So Chris Sims, picture's worth 1,000 words, right? How many words is a video of your customer hula hooping for you because she's so happy about her car purchase worth? Will she ever forget this experience? Not at all. And what does this say to her, thousands or 3,200 family and friends? What are they saying about? What do you think they're saying? They trust. There's trust, man. What a fun experience. I would want to work with this guy. Look at all these 120 likes, 31 comments, 18 shares. Went kind of viral a little bit. Guys, you can avoid oversaturation, connect with new buyers, and grow your social media network. So when I'm coaching salespeople and helping them do stuff like this, it's hand-to-hand combat. And what I mean by, I use a lot of military analogies. What I mean by that is the reason why you won't do it is different than why you won't do it, different than why you won't do it. Nextsail app. So I'm a big fan of the Nextsail app because why? It quite simply, if I'm always posting on my social media network, right? Then I'm just going to be oversaturating my own market and telling my own people over and over, I sell cars. Nextsail allows you to do this on your customers' networks, but you can do it on your own as well. But I hear salespeople all the time tell me, Sean, I don't like telling my friends and family what I do over and over. I don't want to annoy them. I don't want to embarrass myself. Some people are embarrassed to be in the car business. That's a shame. We got to fix that too, guys. But my point is that get your customers to post on their network. Because if this car salesperson here sold 4 cars, look at the power of social media. Look at the reach he can generate by getting his customers to post on their network. And that's what this next video is, which you won't be able to hear. But this is actually Veronica. As you can see, this is Veronica's Facebook page, her personal Facebook page. By the way, for those, any of you guys in here worried about exposure? Man, if we photo our customers without their permission, we might get, anyway. All right, no one's worried, good, that's good. Because bottom line though, if your customers post it, you never have to worry about that. But Veronica and John here, they went live on her Facebook page, and this right here, my friend, this is the memorable digital delivery, okay? This thing got 1,000 views, 93 hearts, comments, and likes, and like you can just see the comments rolling in as the video's going. It's about a 5-minute video, I cut it short for this. But guys, I want you to understand, treat the pixels like people. This is the equivalent of Veronica taking John to her family reunion where there's 1,000 people, and then standing in front of everyone saying, hey guys, I just bought a car from John, come say hi and meet him. And all the people that clicked like came up and said, hey, nice car. And all the people that commented, they said, hey, nice car, John, thanks for taking care of Veronica, and shook his hand. And I asked salespeople, if a customer took you to their family reunion and introduced you to 1,000 people and 30 of them came up to you and, well, what would you do? What would you say? They always say the same thing. I'd give them a business card. I'd ask them when they're going to be in the market for a car. So why aren't we doing it on the internet? That's where the hurt is, right? We've got to learn to treat the pixels like people. We've got to leverage social media. And finally, the last step in the road to the sale is no longer the delivery, it's digital relationship development. For my company, I have a Facebook group. I would invite any of you guys that want to join it. It's free. I'd love to have you in there. I post content in there like this regularly because why? I want to stay in front of you. I want you to remember me. It's that simple. I mean, I can sit there and call 1,000 customers. How long is that going to take, right? I need my time for coaching. So I had to come up with a way to scale up my business and engineer and help my entire database of people I meet at conferences like this remember me. So I put everyone in a Facebook group and I make one live video and 3/4 you guys see it at one shot and you remember me. We can do that. These guys in Ohio, very funny show. They do some education, so the 2 E's they love it. But anyone that buys a car with them, they are constantly doing a news show every week. They become local celebrities. They walk into a gas station and someone's like, I can't wait to see your show this week. What are you going to talk about? They do a little fake news show. It's pretty funny, actually. But they are staying in front of their customers and they're building value. This is a guy named El Patron. We all know El Patron. If you don't know El Patron, then holy cow, what rock you live under. I'm not judging, I'm just saying you got to get you on LinkedIn. But El Patron's really good at digital relationship development. I met him through LinkedIn. He reached out to me, and as a result of our content, we connected. He's built a massive following simply by staying in front of the people that follow him, you know? So I always ask salespeople, after you sell a car 6 months later, are you closer or have you drifted away from your customer? We've got to develop digital relationships so our customers never forget about us. We've got to combat being a commodity. We've got to get our customers to be loyal. We've got to retain them in service and sales, and ESelling makes that happen. Once someone clicks like, once someone comments, once they engage with us on our posts, we need to engage back with them. So this is an actual message to someone who had clicked like on one of those delivery photos earlier. This salesperson generated I think it was 4 or something referrals from this one message to her. So and all she did was click like on the delivery photo. Pretty awesome stuff. Every single like, every single comment is an internet lead. If we look at, we translate it, we customize, and we engage. This road to the sale doesn't end. This road to the sale is not a process, it is a cycle. A process ends, a cycle never ends. That's what we have to teach our salespeople. By setting the right, by the way, if you want a picture of this, grab it. It's only gonna be up here for a minute, guys. But this is step 1, attract buyers. It's not all up to the dealership. Our salespeople can help with the cause. Everyone can help. The manager, just like you saw El Patron doing. We're gonna translate, customize, and engage properly. We're gonna create unique pre-arrival experiences. Then we're gonna get them in front of us. Finally, they get in front of us. We do our greet, assess, and suggest. We're gonna do a trade eval presentation, value validation with investment options instead of a negotiation. We're going to create a memorable digital delivery, and then we're going to do digital relationship development, which leads them right back in to attracting buyers, and it never ends, and salespeople can become completely self-sufficient outside of your marketing. You can just obliterate your cost of acquisition, change the game for your entire dealership. And now, my friends, they're hunting, they're farming, and they're engineering, and everyone's more successful. It's a long-term play. It doesn't work overnight, and we've got to teach them business is a long-term process, right? So put it all together, align everyone at the dealership. This is not a grassroots approach. If the managers don't buy in, if the managers aren't involved, they won't do it. So you gotta align everyone in the sales. Set expectations before hiring and train your salespeople on ESelling from day one. Help them build individual brands to attract the right customer, their ideal customer. Use the 5 E's to create content on social to build a following. And finally, translate and engage all those customers. Turn your marketing efforts into sales. Because there's a big difference between social marketing and social selling. Right, Jason Garrett? So check this out. I want to give you guys, how many of you guys received some serious value from this presentation? Okay, so if you guys did, I would ask that you rate this session. If you didn't, please don't. Just the people that liked it. No, just kidding. All right, but I do want you to know I have an ESelling scorecard I built out, okay, for the dealers I coach. And also I've got a whole list of copy and paste social media engagement messages that I can share with you guys. So all you have to do is see myself or John after this presentation, and we will help you with that. Now, I do want to, we have a few minutes left, so I want to open up for Q&A. It could be anything that would help you guys implement ESelling and make a bigger impact. So some of you guys are probably watching this going, well, how do you do that? Or here's an obstacle, or this might get in the way. What questions, let me turn it over to you guys and give you the mic. What questions do you guys have? It would be my honor to help you answer any of them. Any questions? Sorry.
So, with the sales team creating like their own websites and like doing their own marketing and stuff like that, has there ever been any risk that has came into the picture through, just making sure they're following proper advertising regulations set by the FTC and anything like that, or any of that can be related back to the dealer?
That's a really good question. So, like, one of the reasons that I really like, that's actually a great question. One of the reasons I like the Tier 4 marketing platform is because the dealer owns the content and the material. If the salesperson quits, the dealer gets to keep it. Also, there's a content curator, which basically means that someone on site gets to upload the content that they would be posting, and then they get to choose from a menu of content that is essentially approved by someone on site. One of the reasons I like Nextsail as a tool for e-selling, but I don't get paid by these people. I just keep telling them it's one of the tools I see. I do a lot of research on this stuff, so my dealers have the best stuff. But they, basically that tool, it's already pre-built in the app, so whatever you're sending out has already been okayed by the dealer. So those are just great questions. You definitely want to have some checks and balances because there can be exposure, right? If people are, I actually saw a dealer manager going live and in his office talking about working, how awesome and busy they are, and a salesman walked in and started saying, "Boss, this effing late," and like, "Oh," and then he like, shut it off. And I was like, "Oh, not at one of my stores, but I have seen that." So yeah, you gotta watch out. Thank you, great question. What you got?
I just want to make a point for Sean Kelley. So I've been using social media for years. I operate the #1 Facebook page in the country for the automotive market and engagement. The word engagement, what does it mean? It's not about how many likes you got on anything. It's really about how many shares you're getting. How many people are sharing your stuff is really what you're trying to do. He's got a point with the amount of people that are the engagement that comes from the customer is more powerful than the Facebook page of a business. It's so critical to get the customer to talk. If you can get that customer to talk, like you said, that is the engagement you're looking for. If you have a Facebook page and you're trying to build your Facebook page up, again, you only have the same amount of people, but you don't have the same amount of those customers. 200 deliveries times 500 people on Facebook is 100,000 new people. Divide that in half, 50,000 people. Now you have 50,000 new referrals coming in a month.
Yeah.
From
And treat
the customer talking.
And Jason, like Jason was saying, treat all the likes from that, engage with those. Look that customer up. Are they related? How are they related to the person that made the post? Oh, you're Sean's brother. Thanks for clicking like on his new car. I've got those messages and I'll share them with you. You had a question?
Yeah, so obviously being your social media today.
Right.
What's the ways to follow through?
Well, there's a way I did that too, the last digital dealer. I was like, "Hey, Mike," by the way, Mike Boyd, the founder of Irene, I said, "Hey, Mike, we're live, check it out." He's like, "Oh, great, thanks, Sean." But he brings up a great point. Mike asked, how can you get your employees that are intimidated to go live on social media and do that to do it? There's only 3 reasons why someone won't do what it takes to succeed. I was sharing this with Carla last night when we were talking about it. Number 1 is they just don't see value in it, right? So we have to make sure they're sold on the value, they're aligned to the direction of the company, they know what's in it for them if they do it. Number 2, they don't know how. If they don't know how to hit record, they certainly won't. And the 3rd reason is simply that, they're fearful of any sort of negative result or reaction. So you have to help them overcome those fears. And I'm no different, man. I was telling Rob, I was like, man, before this presentation, I always get nervous before I speak. I'm a coach, man. I like one-on-one dialogue. I don't like just talking to people, but yeah, no different. Actually, when I first started my business, I knew I had to leverage social media to grow it, and thank God I have, because half my clients have come from doing this process for myself on social media. But I'm not kidding when I tell you this. I had to pay a trainer to drive from Chicago to St. Louis and force me to go live. And after 10 times, I was like, okay, I can do it now. Okay, we don't have to, I got it, I can do it. So it's just a stretch of the comfort zone. Bottom line, growth doesn't happen inside the comfort zone, my friends. So we've got to constantly be stretching our employees and getting them to try new things. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's something, an expectation you can set and you can recruit and hire for. Imagine if during your interview you start asking your employees, hey, what was the last time, or the potential employee, what was the last time you stretched your comfort zone? When was the last time you did something to really grow and did something that was really uncomfortable? If they have good answers for that, I promise you they could be a good candidate for you. Elton, do you have a question?
If I may add to that, what worked for me really, it's like that was my biggest fear, to do lives. So do it yourself. Let them see you, make fool yourself. It's the only way they're gonna do it. They're not gonna do it if you don't do it. Bottom line.
Did you know you were in my presentation? I actually put you in there. Not paying you any royalties, just so no. But
did you pay the agent fee?
but he's right. Like, guys, the body goes where the head goes. If the leaders won't do it, then why would the employee? We have to lead by example. We have to model the behavior that we want our employees to do. Go ahead.
So one of the things I'm taking away is that creating a unique pre-arrival experience. Can you elaborate and give me a couple more examples apart from video? What else can we do? Because that's something, you know, we create a lot of appointments, we bring in a lot of people, but it's a very dry scenario. Like, we're confirmed, typical template, you know what I mean? And I just want to get a more of an example of what you think we can
That's
do.
great. Oh, thank you. So there's a couple things you can do. I have a BDC that actually asks the customer, it's a pre-arrival survey, as crazy and annoying as it sounds. They actually want to pair you up. I want to pair you up with the perfect salesperson for you. Now, a few questions. How long do you want to spend at the dealership? You know, how thorough do you want your delivery to be? You know, what do you want to make sure? What do you already know about the car? What do you want to learn more about? You know, hey, if you want to make the experience perfect for you, customize your own experience. You know, so we actually have created some digital surveys that we send to customers prior to them even showing up at the store, and then we can kind of tailor that. Some of those questions, the options are in there for one of my dealer groups in Jersey, actually. So, thank you guys. Is that a good idea for you?
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah, but there's nothing more impactful than the video. You know, show them the work. We all work so hard to get the car ready for the customer. We're pulling that thing up. I mean, show them the effort you're putting in. Because if I ask 1,000 customers, picture a car salesperson, what do they see? They only see what's in the Carvana ads, right? So show them that you're standing in the rain pulling that car up. Show them the effort you're putting in. It'll obligate them to show up on time. Guys, thank you for joining us. Shift Digital, see you guys. Shift Digital in the house. Give a round of applause. All right, what other questions? We've got three more minutes. I want to make sure I answer them all. What other questions?
I've got a quick one.
Yes, sir.
I want to get a feel from what the US industry thinks. I actually review rate for online posting of a sales list of $50 on top of their normal commissions, their base cost, whatever. Paying for posting to get a more of an online presence of both the dealerships.
Okay, so
Is that a recommended thing? Is that a traditional thing, or is that something that happens here?
okay, so you're saying that if they self-generate an opportunity, you give them a bigger commission.
Yep, and if they
Right.
post on our websites.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because otherwise, I would struggle like that to get them to embrace it. But what your friend says, maybe I should.
Absolutely. If you do it at the top and you set the expectation from the beginning, it's much easier to get them to do it. And I love the carrot and the stick, right? Hey guys, this is the direction we're taking our company, and I want to stay ahead of our competition, and I want to make sure we retain our competitive edge. In order to do just that, we're going to go social media. We're all going to be a part of this thing, including myself. I'm going to stretch my comfort zone. Here we go. You know, and absolutely.
Briefly, I think it's a cheaper form of marketing.
No question.
I didn't know if that's commonplace here.
I've got a dealer, actually Donwood Group in Ohio, from the first couple slides with the big results and engagement. They actually reimburse, so when their salespeople hit certain bogeys, he'll reimburse them for any Facebook page marketing spend they've done. So he actually has an in-house marketing person that goes around and sits with each salesperson at the beginning of the month and says, how are we going to market yourself? How much do you want to spend on Facebook? And then they'll do like so the salesperson investing in their own business, and if they get the results, then he'll help, pay for it as well. It's pretty cool. It's a great idea.
We did the same thing at our store, at the Hyundai store, Happy Car Store, and they made sure that they reimbursed our announcement. They gave us a bonus for any time we had a picture with our customer, and then we can actually post it to our Facebook page for the dealership, as well as the customer liked it. Once the customer liked it, then we got $10 sometimes to do that. We sold 20 cars for $200.
So that's a great idea.
Yeah.
What was your name?
Justin.
Justin. Justin says that when they do a delivery photo, the sales rep gets $25. I would challenge you, Justin, great idea. And I would challenge you guys to actually say, hey, if you do a delivery photo from now on, it's $10, but if you do a delivery video, we do 30. Video gets way more engagement and get the customers. By the way, when you do tag people, this is important. When you're tagging people on Facebook, if they don't, I wish I could show you guys, but if they don't have automatic adding to timeline, a lot of times people don't even know it. It doesn't go on their timeline. They have to go hit the 3 dots. If you want to see it, I'll show you afterwards. But customers you tag have to often go to their own timeline, go to the timeline approval. It's really hidden. So a lot of your posts you're tagging people in, it doesn't even go there. So it's important that you get them to post it, or you help walk them through that process. Does that make sense? Approving to the timeline.
He has we talked about this all the time, me and Sean, but you want to not give them, over incentivize your employees to post anything or do anything. Don't incentivize them stuff that's the job for today. Reputation is your job for today. It's not a choice anymore. So it's like, you don't give them a choice. We're doing it. If you don't do it, then go home. Get out of here. Because you need to build my reputation up. I know it sounds harsh, but we're in a different age. And when my customer leaves, it's your job to post something on their Facebook page. It's not a choice. You don't have a choice. If you don't gonna give them $25, don't give them $10, don't give them $3.